Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you. Hello everybody, and welcome back to what is a quick live stream connection test ahead of the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. My name's Paul, and this is just on my own personal YouTube channel. The Reprieve Media CIC YouTube channel will be the place to catch all the 2024 Cheltenham Festival live stream. I spoke to my good friend and colleague Steve Allpress this morning. He is going to start getting the audio at some point later on, so that will filter through all through the week. He likes to be concise and thorough. So all being well, Tuesday morning we should have the preview of the first day of the 2024 Cheltenham Festival on the Reprieve Media CIC YouTube channel. That is the official plan anyway. Right, what I'm going to do for you today in order to test this stream is just a little run through of where all the horses identified by myself could be heading this 2024 Cheltenham Festival. A little bit of waffling just to get the stream. We have had no drop frames in the first 2 minutes of this live stream since the new settings were enabled. I was using the recording settings. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get away with it. It wasn't allowing it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to start taking a look at things. The first thing I'm going to take a look at really is just how well horses identified by myself have been running this season. The first line you will see is the runs up to probably the start of this month. There is one or two missing. They had run 33 times, they had won 15 times and come second 5 times. They are the ones that were identified last season. The ones that have identified this season have only currently run 7 times with 4 firsts and 1 second. Apologies if some of those have been missed off. Some of the runs in the last 9 or 10 days possibly could have added to those figures. It's a very interesting day on the maybes today as well for me, and hopefully we've got a couple of identified horses also going round, unfortunately, in the same race. So there might be another National Hunt review out tomorrow ahead of the Cheltenham Festival, just to tie up all loose odds and ends heading in to the festival on Tuesday. But I think really the record of those horses, to be honest, really do speak for themselves, don't they? Here they are looking in fine form ahead of the festival. What I will also do is I will guide you all to the old Reprieve Media CIC Racing website, repcicracing2020.great/site.net. I mean, this site is now pretty much 4 years old. You'll see that it stopped reviewing horses around November 2020. COVID came in as well. You know, but there's the horses. If the horses were going around in the National Hunt sphere 4 years ago, then they are definitely going round now. It's fair to say on this website, some very interesting older horses Now, like 4-year-old hurdlers in 2020 are now 8 years old. So if a horse is 9 or 10, it's any good. Chances are it's on the old Reprieve Media CIC website. Right, I don't really want to do too much waffling in this live stream, but the whole purpose of it is to establish a connection. So what I'm going to do now is going to start going through the horses and trying to find out where they are headed. I'm not really monitoring the live chat, unfortunately. That's in through a different window on YouTube. So hello, everybody. If everybody is chatting away on live chat, feel free to say hello. And at the end of the video, I will do a little recap and we'll see if there is anybody on the chat that needs responding to. Right. What I'm going to do this year is I'm also going to include the maybes. The maybe lists are very interesting as well. Some of these horses with a good performance at the Cheltenham Festival, a race victory, will surely be in contention to be identified in the weeks upcoming to the Aintree, Punchestown and Fairyhouse festivals in Ireland. The first one we're going to take a look at is Birdie or Bust. Birdie or Bust actually beat Fun in a listed race in December 2023. She was arguably a very lucky winner that day. It's fair to say. Excuse me. Fun made a terrible mistake at the last. But this is a well-bred filly. This is Birdie or Bust. And people will see there that there is a chance it could run on the Thursday, the 14th of March, in the Ryanair Mares Novices Hurdle, Grade 2, registered as the Dawn Run. That's another race spoiled. Why do the Bilderbergers have to sponsor all these races? Now, why don't they just leave it as the Dawn Run Mares Novice Hurdle? After one of the best mares ever in history. But no, instead the Bilderberger wants to get his name all over this festival. Racing really does have a problem with the elite, really. Right, the next horse we're going to take a look at is Nadawi. Nadawi, 4-year-old juvenile hurdler, who hasn't really done a lot wrong over hurdles. People will see, he finished 5th first time out, behind Interlotto, another one of the maybes. It then finished 3rd on his second start before getting off the mark by 2.5 lengths in a 16-runner race in January in Naas, running to a mark of 130. People will see that he is entered on the first day. That race is the Boodles Juvenile Novice Hurdle, where he is currently a 9-1 shot. And it'll be interesting to see if the horse takes his chance for Gordon Elliott. The third one is from the family of Denman, trained by Harry Fry, 6-year-old novice hurdler Gidley Park. You'll see there a couple of entries for Gidley Park. On the 13th, he's entered in what is now the Gallagher Novices Hurdle, been registered as the Baring Bingham Novices Hurdle for some time. And he's also in on the 15th, where he's a shorter price for that race, the 3-mile Novice Chase, the Albert Bartlett Novice Chase, registered as the Spa. Why don't they just leave these races as they're registered? It'd be a lot more straightforward for everybody. People would know where they stood all throughout history instead of renaming the races. People will see the form of Gidley Park there. Gidley Park has done nothing wrong, winning 4 of 4. The reason I didn't put him on the definite list is I was quite disappointed when he won his Grade 2 on Trials Day in Cheltenham. He won the registered as the Classic Novices Hurdle. He only won by half a length. He never even improved from his run he gained in a Class 3 £5,000 Novice Hurdle. I do think he'll have to be a bit better to figure here at Cheltenham than that. But he is one that is possible a novice chaser if he was to run well at Cheltenham and Aintree and then win first time out in novice chases. Here's a nice one from the family of Denman. Unfortunately, though, trained in the UK, which is a massive negative as well for the horse, really, in my view. You saw there that the English trained horse never took one step forward in a trial. So that was why he hasn't really got his own video made at the moment. But I do like the horse. I do think he's an interesting horse, Gidley Park, without any shadow of a doubt. The next one, Firefox. Firefox has got some good form. He's beaten a few of mine. He's beaten Il Atlantique. He's beaten Ballyburn. You know, this horse has got some decent form. You'll see there he was fourth in the Grade 1 behind Reading Tommy Wrong in Nace. At Nace, where he ran to his best hurdle mark so far of 138, which is only 3 higher than his National Hunt form, which again is why he is where he is at the moment. But you'll see there that he's entered in the first race of the festival at 130, the Supreme Novices Hurdle. And it will be interesting to see how he gets on in that race. Generally a 4-1 chance at the moment. The next one, Search for Glory. Another one trained by Gordon Elliott, sired by Fame and Glory out of a dam called Geek Chic. You'll see that this is quite an outsider for the 2 races that we've already looked at, the Spa Novices Hurdle, the 3-miler. And there's a 50-1 chance for that on the 15th. But also on the 15th at 5:30 is a slightly shorter prize for the Martin Pipe Conditional Jockeys Handicap Hurdle over slightly less. 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. This to me is an interesting horse who hasn't really done much wrong at all. The horse has won a pair of Grade 3 trials at Cork and Clonmel, running to his best mark of 141. He was fourth in a Grade 2 at Limerick, and he was also behind Croke Park in a Grade 3 at Navan. But this horse, to me, he could have more to come. He could be another one that could have interesting chase form, chase prospects, really, next season if he was to run well in these big hurdles at the end of the season and then win first time out over fences. I mean, he could be another one that is not without hope in the future. The next one is a search facility. Well, another way. Sorry about that. Another way, a 5-year-old gelding trained by Willie Mullins. This horse is actually related to a Concertista who's actually won at the festival before for the same connections. And she also ran a massive race on debut in the Cheltenham Festival before she won the race a couple of years ago, maybe going 3 years back, sired by Anadin, out of a dam called Zagzig. People see she's 25-1 for the first. It's 25-1. Another one for the first race of the week, the Supreme Novices Hurdle. Excuse me. At 1:30. This horse very lightly raced over hurdles, finished 11th on debut in what had to go down as a rather disappointing run, but then bounced back, running to a mark of 144 in a maiden hurdle in January. This is a horse off her flat with no pattern race form at all. But due to the pedigree, being well bred to horses like Slalom, Follamore, French Derby placed horse not so long ago, Slalom was, and also to Concertista, graded winner over both hurdles and fences. I mean, this horse has to be chanced until proven otherwise, and it'd be nice to see how he goes round in the Supreme Novices Hurdle if he gets to take his chance. The last one of the possibles is a horse that's arguably very unlucky not to be on the list really already. It just can't quite win the races, plus it's UK trained, which doesn't help the horse. The Paul Nicholls trained 7-year-old gelding Stay Away Faye. Currently novice chasing, sired by Shantou out of a dam called Augusta Bay. People will see that I had this on the maybe list last year when the horse won the Albert Bartlett at odds of 18-1. And then I was just getting ready to do a video on the horse, and then it went and let itself down and took, like so many UK horses do, take a massive step backwards when beaten 4th out of 15 in the Aintree equivalent, where it ran worse than what it did at Cheltenham. Impossible to recommend heading into the season after that. The horse has done nothing wrong really, novice chasing. It's won a couple of races at Exeter and Sandown. But it was when it was third against the non-novices really, when it was behind Capodanno in the 2024 Cotswold Chase, where it ran to a mark of 162 despite only finishing third. And you have to say that the race it could possibly be entered in on the 13th, on Wednesday the 13th at 2:10. Another race that really should be called the Broadway Novices Chase, the 3 mile and a half a furlong, the older RSA Chase. You could argue that despite going up in grade to get back to novice company, the horse is having a bit of a drop in class, it's fair to say. And this previous former Cheltenham Festival winner just needs to stop losing races it shouldn't lose, really. And then hopefully it can run well at Cheltenham and Aintree, and then it might be one to put up for open class chases next season. But I like to identify novices. This horse, the more I look at it, has missed its chance, really. It's just going to go round. If it wins the RSA, is it going to win the Gold Cup next year? You know, it's in the same boat next year, isn't it, the horse? The race at Aintree was the one that cost it. And the race at Warwick, really, was another one. Back in January 2023 where it lost, which means I couldn't get it on side before the festival last year. And then again, it lost again at Aintree. And then I couldn't get it on side, really. I could have got it on side if it won the Cotswold Chase, but again, it didn't. So the horse just loses at key times, really, which stops me identifying it properly and dedicating some of my very important time to actually talking about the horse. We'll give it a good talk about today, though, and hopefully, if it turns up on the Wednesday, it runs well. Right. They are all the maybes at the moment. I'm going to put the introduction screen up again at the moment, for a moment, and then I will be back with the horses that were identified during last season, not this season. Take care, everybody, and I'll be back very, very shortly. Goodbye for now. Hello, everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello, everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Right, we're gonna get a good set pace on now. We've been going for a good solid 17 minutes, and less than 1% of the frames have dropped through that time. So we could hopefully have found the settings that we need ahead of the live streams going out, the preview shows over the next morning through the week. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at the horses identified 2 seasons ago and the ones that we've got entered where they're heading, about 7 or 8 of them. And then I will come back. The first one, Gaelic Warrior. Gaelic Warrior are now 6 years old, trained by Willie Mullins, side by Maxios. People will see here that this horse is still entered in every single race possible at the Cheltenham Festival, the 12th, the 13th and the 14th. The 3 novice chases, the Arkle on the Tuesday at 2:10, the Broadway Novices Chase on the 13th at 2:10, and on the 14th at 1:30, the race registered as the Golden Miller Novices Chase, over 2 miles and 4 furlongs. People will see there that there's not really any indicator at all of where this horse is going to run. It's entered 2:10 at Arkle, 7-2 chance, 3-1 chance for the 2.5 miler, and for the 3 mile half a furlong race, he doesn't seem to be that fancied. On a bit of a retrieval mission, really, after unseating his rider in the 2-runner Egg and Spoon Grade 1 race in 2024, where he was beaten. What you had there was an odds-on shot owned by a bookie, an ex-failed bookie, and the second favourite owned by Ireland's biggest gambler. You know, so make of that race what you will. There's always a good chance that the bookie was going to pay out, and that's so it proved. Gaelic Warrior, before that, though, had ran nicely in 2 chases, running to a mark of 158, including when winning over 2 mile, 3.5 furlongs in a Grade 1 over Leopardstown at Christmas, where he won the Faheen Novices Chase at Limerick. Very good hurdler as well. Grade 1 winning hurdler as well. He was actually second in last year's Cheltenham Festival, behind Impere Pass. There is talk, and I think it's fair, really, that this horse is not the same going round this way as he is the other way. That could be argued. He was also beaten in the Boodles of 2022, when he was second again behind a horse owned by Ireland's biggest gambler. So, very interesting, this horse, I think it's fair to say, and hopefully the horse will be able to bounce back and give a better running in the race he does decide to turn up at Cheltenham. Excuse me. The next one is in the same colours. Allegorie de Vassy, 7 years old, mare, sired by No Risk at All out of a dam called Ortignac. Currently a 4-1 shot on Friday, the 15th of March, for the Cheltenham Mrs. Paddy Power Mare's Chase. Again, you know, why don't just call the race the Libertine Mare's Chase? I mean, this festival has sold its soul. You know, the Libertine Mare's Chase, Grade 2, 4-1. Currently, the form of the horses is very inconsistent. It's fair to say that on her day, Allegorie de Vassy is very good, as she proved last time when winning the listed race, the Opera Hat, when she beat a horse by 4 lengths. That had previously beaten her by 33 lengths in a Grade 3 in January. First season of the start of the season, she won another listed race at Clonmel. The interesting thing with Allegorie de Vassy really is how feeble the prize money is for the races she's been running in. She's been running in graded mares races, and none of them have been worth over £20,000 to the winner. So despite every race selling its soul at the Cheltenham Festival, where's the money going? You know, it's certainly not going in prize money throughout the season, is it? You'll see there she was actually second behind Impervious in the same race last year, where she ran to a mark of 155. But before that, she was a dual Grade 2 novice chase winner, and she also was a Grade 3 hurdle winner. So this horse, to me, must have some sort of a chance. It's looking like roles reversed in this race, where Ireland's biggest gambler will actually be on the odds-on favourite, and the failed bookie will have the second string. So it'll be interesting to see what outcome they manage to concoct on the day. Like I said, the race, Friday the 15th of March at 4:50. Very interesting race there. The next horse is actually owned by England's biggest gambler. Trained by Willie Mullins, owned by Tony Bloom, who is also, if people don't know, the owner of Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club. The horse sired by Coastal Path out of a dam called Côte Atlantique. People see there that Atlantique has still got two engagements at Cheltenham. He's also one entered in the 130, the Supreme Novices Hurdle on the Tuesday. And he is also entered on Wednesday the 13th at 1:30 in the Baring Bingham Novices Hurdle, where he's a general 5-1 chance. So it's probably looking like Wednesday as opposed to the Tuesday for this horse, Il Atlantique. And I suppose it boils down to, does the UK's biggest gambler fancy it on the day? What people do with this horse? You'll see it won nicely on its first maiden hurdle by 19 lengths, and it also improved by 16 when it was just beaten the neck by Reading Tommy Wrong at Naas. Run into its best hurdle mark so far of 149. It's very interesting that they keep nudging these races up without people noticing, really. Yeah, I do think that was rated lower when we looked at the race last time out in the review range, when we reviewed the race. But Il Atlantique, to me, very promising horse. The connections of the horse have to be feared. You know, if there's money for this horse, then Mr. Bloom doesn't like to lose very often. So it'll be interesting to see where Il Atlantique goes this Cheltenham Festival. The next one, trained by Gordon Elliott, 5-year-old mare, Brighter Days Ahead, sired by Capguard out of a dam called Matney. People see that this horse has done absolutely nothing wrong. Nothing wrong all through her career. She's won all 5 of her 5 starts. 120 in the National Hunt Sphere, 142 in the Novice Hurdle Sphere, where currently she has only raced mares. Again, pitiful prize money. Less than £20,000 in November 2023 when she won a Grade 3 at Down Royal. And then she came back and won a listed race at Navan in February, worth a feeble, insulting £12,000. €12,000 that is to the winner, even less than pounds. Running to its best hurdle mark of 142. This horse here has won her 2 bumper starts by a combined total of 17 lengths, and it's won her 3 hurdle starts by a combined total of 26 3/4 lengths. So it's no surprise really to see that in the 14th of March, the 450 in the Dawn Run Mares Hurdle, 11 to 8 is about the best people can get on brighter days ahead. But would you want to lay a horse that's won 5 races by a combined total of 40 lengths? I'm not sure I would. Obviously, the beautifully bred horse as well out of the dam, Matney, Coldwell Potter, Mighty Potter, Indiana Jones, French Dynamite, all graded race winners. And this horse, this mare, could arguably be the best of the lot. I mean, has she had a race yet in her career? That's what people need to ask themselves. And if she does finally have a race, what will happen? Fascinating horse. You'll see now the power of my horses really is coming out now in this video, isn't it? We've got another one really that is really not in the Last Chance Saloon because I think it's been running well in handicaps. But the horse, I don't like mine in egg and spoon handicaps at all, really. They might end up in the Grand National at best. James de Burley is the name of the horse, 8-year-old gelding, sired by Mutahir. Out of a dam called King's Daughter, a very well-bred horse. This horse is actually related to Birdie or Bust, I think, which we looked at earlier in the maybe list. People will see there on Thursday, the 14th of March at 4:10. Just the one handicap entry. It is in the Cheltenham Trust Trader Plate. What sort of a sponsor is that for Cheltenham Festival? The Premier Handicap, and then you'll see that the horse is 50 to 1 and entered in the Grand National on the 13th of April, where he is currently a 50 to 1 shot. People look at the form of the horse. Solid rather than spectacular this season. Here's another one really where he's still rated higher over hurdles, 158, than he is over fences, 155. I mean, part of me really does think that this horse is not a chaser, it's a hurdler. Its base chase mark was gained in a £7,000 egg and spoon race at Fairyhouse on New Year's Day. It has finished 3rd in one Grade 1, where it's beaten 8.5 lengths by Ferranilli in April 2023, the champion novice chase at the Punchestown Festival. But the horse was so highly tried last year that the handicap mark of 149 over fences, 156 over hurdles. So there's no doubt that this horse is theoretically well handicapped. But is the horse as good over fences as he is over hurdles? People see there is second behind Classical Dream in the 2021 Champion Stayers Hurdle. It was a great run. And people see there he's been second in a Grade 1 4-year-old hurdle in France as well as winning a couple of Grade 3 4-year-old hurdles, and he even chased home my old mate For Fun in the 2020 Prix-Alain de Broye, where For Fun beat him by dropping his whip, it has to be said. But the horse has got a good level of form, I think. And it's just frustrating that they're running it in handicaps rather than just when they were exposing the horse in pattern at level weights races. People could forget about the horse, couldn't they, and just put it on a forgotten list and then watch it win the Grand National or something. But this horse, to me, is still not without hope this year. It's hanging on by the skin of its coattails, it's fair to say. James de Burley. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look. I'm going to put the entry screen back up again because I need to find them on the tabs and get them all loaded. We're going to look at the horses that have been identified during this National Hunt season and how they could possibly run and where at the Cheltenham Festival this year. But before that, I've got to put the old intro screen up again, which is what I will do now. I'll be back shortly. Take care, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello, everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Well, I must say the connection, which is the whole purpose of this stream, really. Anyone else getting anything from it that's an added bonus, really. This stream is just for technical purpose to test this new connection ahead of any possible live stream Cheltenham Festival daily previews that myself and my colleague and good friend Steve Allpress are planning on doing. The place to catch them will be the Reprieve Media CIC YouTube channel, not this one. This channel is only my own personal channel. It's only me banging on with myself. Anytime there is a co-host or any official Reprieve Media CIC content, then that's the channel that will go out on, obviously. Right, the last lot we're going to take a look at horses identified this season. I think looking at them, they're all novices. I do like to identify novices. As I said, another quick shout really for the old website. Why not? RepCIC Racing 2020.great/site.net for all your horse racing needs from around 2020 onwards. There really is some fascinating horses on there. Some of them are at stud now. Some of them are brood mares. Some of them are still even going around and winning Group 1 races. Like, I think you will find on this site, I'm going to say it now, 2 of the 3 favourites for the Gold Cup, Shishkin and Fast or Slow, identified on this site. So make of that what you will. Right, the first horse we've got identified going around this year in the Cheltenham Festival possibly is Lecky Watson. My old mate Lecky Watson, 6-year-old gelding, sired by Valiran, out of a dam called Anno White. I mean, there's a few people out there on the social media sphere that think Valiran is an up-and-coming stallion who will have a good record over 3 miles in chases. Hopefully that will prove to be correct, because if that is, then we've got one here. You'll see that Lecky Watson's only entry at Cheltenham is on the 15th of March at $2.50, where I think is a very fair price. In the race registered as the Spa Novices Hurdle at $2.50. If people look at the form of Lecky Watson, they will see again that he's another one really that is just bubbling under the surface, I think. I really do think that. And the reason I think that is the small gap between his National Hunt flat form and his hurdle form. People look, he's only rated £7 higher over hurdles on 141 than he is over the National Hunt Sphere, 134. This horse ran very well in last year's Cheltenham Bumper at odds of 80-1. It was 4th, beaten 5.5 lengths behind a Dream to Share at 80-1. I mean, people only need to work out how many odd places people pay that day to work out why I've always had a soft spot for this horse. After that, it was a frustrating horse really over bumpers. They had never won a race. And then all of a sudden it come out and finished 4th in the Champion Bumper. I was always aware of it. I was always aware how well bred it was. There was one day it did win and it got disqualified. I think it was that race there. Bumped inside the rival, led again towards the finish. Finished first place second in a November 2022 National Hunt flat race at Punchestown. But you'll see over hurdles, he's done nothing wrong really. 2 mile 7 furlong victory over Rushmont, only by a neck. And then he's run 2 solid races, I think, at Grade 2 and Grade 1 company, finishing placed both times behind Slade Steel by a length and a half in a Grade 2, and then again in the Grade 1 Lawlers of Naas. We finished 3rd out of 7, reading Tommy Wong. The horse has travelled well in both those races. People's crabbits jump in the horse. I don't see it. I think it jumps okay. To me, I think the horse just needs further. And I'm looking forward to seeing it return to a distance in the 3 mile race if it does run at, where at least it's nearly won. It's won at 2 mile 7 furlongs. Ideally, the horse would start winning a lot more. Look, he's only won 1 out of 8 races. Hardly the strike rate I look for. But if he was to have a good novice chase campaign and novice hurdle campaign at the end of the season, with all these 3 mile novice hurdles and 3 mile beginners chases, then that can soon sort itself out. That's what I'm hoping anyway, that the strike rate goes up on the horse. I do like this horse. Lecky Watson, I've always liked it. The next one, fascinating contender, Mystical Power, sired by a legendary stallion, Galileo, out of a legendary race mare, Annie Power. Is it any surprise, really, that after 3 races, the horse owned by Ireland's biggest gambler hasn't lost a race yet? You'll see it's one entered in the Supreme Novices Hurdles again, the 130, on the first day, the 12th of March. You'll see that it's won a Grade 2, pitiful prize money again. Truly embarrassing that they should run a Grade 2 in Ireland and it'd be worth less than €20,000 to winner. Even more embarrassing for Irish racing, it was named after one of their great horses, Moscow Flyer. Truly embarrassing prize money. But all the horse could do is win, and it won nicely by 7 lengths, beating Jigaro, running to a mark of 144. This is another likely race horse that we could have going for the Supreme Novices Hurdles. You'll see that's what we like. Look, a big gap between the National Hunt flat figure and the hurdle figure. I'm not sure if Mystical Power is actually entered. He's actually entered in the Bear in Bingham as well on the 13th. But the powers, the controllers of racing, the bookmakers, seem determined to sell us that he is going to run on the 12th. They're not even offering a price on the 13th. So Mystical Power is looking like one for the Tuesday. The next one, 4-year-old juvenile hurdler trained in the UK, unfortunately, by Gary Moore. Salva, sired by Motivator. Good jump stallion there, out of a dam called Selva Evita, sired by Monson. People will see that on the 15th of March at 1:30, the opening race of the day. Salva is, in fact, a 20-1 shot for the JCB Triumph Hurdle, Grade 1. Again, this is a horse that's done nothing wrong over hurdles, winning 4 out of 4, including when he won a Grade 2 by 21 lengths at Chepstow in December 2023, the Coral Finale Juvenile Hurdle. That was when I identified the horse. All he had to do was win that race, and he won it by 21 lengths, which is exactly what I like to see my horses do when I set them a little test. You know, the horse passed the test with flying colours. It was then unfortunately dropped down in class when it ran in the Victor Ladorum in February, winning by 3.5 lengths from a horse well beaten in a handicap hurdle yesterday at Sandown. So what he really achieved that day remains to be seen. But I think the horse, 4 out of 4, and I think if he takes a chance in the Triumph Hurdle, he could be one worth looking at. But unfortunately, the UK based, it's got to be a massive negative in the horse that the horse is trained. But in the UK horses are so spectacularly inferior that there is hardly any running this week at Cheltenham. That's how bad they are. I think in the Grand National, there's only 6 UK trained horses guaranteed a run out of 34. And that is how shockingly inept UK's national hunt scene is at the moment, unfortunately. It's like role reversals when Cato and Denman were dominating. They were going to Islands races and winning every race that they liked. The Listener turned up and won a couple. Tidal Bay turned up and won a couple. These things are cyclical at the minute. And as it stands, there can be no dispute that Irish racing is absolutely battering UK racing as it stands at the moment. Salva hopefully will run a good race. Another horse we're taking a look at now, Willie Mullins trained, 6-year-old gelding Ballyburn. Identified this year, sired by Flemonsforth out of a dam called Old Moon. I mean, this to me shows the absolute joke that racing is at the moment. I mean, this horse is not going to run in 2 races, but due to the way the bookmakers have brought in this ludicrous non-runner, no-bet, that means that the horse is odds-on favourite for 2 races, even though it's only going to run in one of them. An absolute joke, really. I mean, the horse racing should be embarrassed selling their soul to these devils. They've just completely destroyed it, any credibility that the sport has got. I mean, the worst thing about it is that the people that the people they've sold the soul to, the sport, namely the gambling industry, absolutely detests the sport. You know, does nothing at all to support the sport. You know, just uses it to get its name out there. The prize money is always atrocious. They won't take bets on it. You know, it's impossible for somebody in front to actually get on a horse these days with a decent bet. So these people have sold horse racing, UK horse racing, well, horse racing in general, has in fact sold its soul to the people who are actually trying to destroy horse racing because they want people in casinos on games of chance. They don't want people like my good self producing statistics like this, you know, where 15 out of 33 win in one season and 4 out of 7 win in the next. I mean, that is just not what horse racing is for these days. You know, it's for piss poor egg and spoon bookies all weathers handicaps where they just cheat and take it in turns, and owners back their own horse Horse racing really has never been in a lower position, in my view. Ballyburn, a good horse, though, without any shadow of a doubt. It is one, though, that has been beaten by Firefox. It's won 4 out of its 5 starts. A dominant victory by 7 lengths over Slade Steel, where, again, they admitted hurdles in February 2024, where it won the Derby Sale Novice Hurdle. Before that, it had done nothing wrong in the race. I identified it in by 25 lengths. It needed to win that race to get a video, and it did. By 25 lengths, Firefox was identified that day. So once it was behind Firefox, all it had to do, really, was come out and win. And the horse has managed to do that. 1 out of 1 on point to points, 2 out of 2 in National Hunt. And again, the big leap that we like, 131 over National Hunt, 157 over hurdles, which was gained on its last start. Very little value in the horse going round on the day. But I've actually identified this horse probably 5 or 6 months before it's actually doing that. And it hasn't lost a race. So it's all about identifying the winners for me. I'm not a gambler. Never have been a gambler. You know, money. I know how money is created through quantitative easing. You know, and I know really that the horse racing, when people gamble on it, is what it is. You know, literally anything can happen, and it often does. But it'll be interesting to see what outcomes they can manifest this week around this horse, Ballyburn. It's fair to say. Another one now, Peking Opera. Another 4-year-old gelding, unfortunately for him, trained in the UK by Gary Moore, sired by Galileo out of a dam called Bugle. People will see that if this takes its chance in the Triumph Hurdle at 1:30 on Friday, that the horse will be going round as a bit of an also ran. It's currently a 66 to 1 chance on the form, on the book, sorry. And people will see that is because it really had a crushing fall last time out, behind one of ours in the Grade 2 Juvenile Adonis Hurdle behind Caliph de Burley. The horse was well beaten at the time. Took a crushing fall at the last. Before that, though, it did win first time out over hurdles. That was what the horse needed to do to get on the list. And it did that, went into a mark of 102. But then again, we had Salva run into a mark of 125, didn't we? This horse was actually very good on the flat. It was actually placed in the Irish Derby behind Auguste Rodin. And it was also third in the Group 3 behind Vauban at Naas in August 2023. The Ballyrone Stakes ran to 106. His best mark at Longchamp in the 2023 Grand Prix de Paris, when admittedly it was fairly well beat. But the horse did win a listed race. It won the listed Yates Stakes of May 2023 on the flat when it ran to a mark of 103. But this horse is in the very enviable position, really, of being rated less over hurdles at its best than he is on the flats currently, albeit after only 2 runs. So I think if Peking Opera was to turn up in the Triumph, he'd probably have it all to do on the day. But on the back of that crushing fall, where the horse was quite slow to get up, you know, I'll probably be looking to give him a bit more time to recover from that, personally. This is the last one, apparently. The last one coming up is in the bumper, the National Hunt Flat Race, Argento Boy. I've actually looked at 5 or 6 bumper horses, and this is the only one that's turned up this year in the Cheltenham bumper. Trained by Willie Mullins, owned by the owner of Galopin de Champs, the Gold Cup favourite. This is Audrey Turley, sired by Jukebox Jury out of a dam called Backaway. People see that on Wednesday, the 13th of March at 5:30, it's entered in the Champion Bumper Grade 1 National Hunt Flat Race. And I think the price is very interesting. And I think it's fair. It's related to a horse that's won the race before. So, Briar Hill, the old Andrea and Graham Wiley horse. You know, the horse won 7 lengths on its bumper debut in January 2024 at Fairyhouse, running to a mark of 115. I mean, if this horse was to saunter up the hill and win, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it did that, because it's related to horses that have done it before. You know, it's not rocket science, this. Briar Hill, I think, was 33 to 1 when he won the champion bumper for me. I can't remember what year it was. It's also related to Boston Bob. Boston Bob was also a very nice horse that Andrea and Graham Wiley. And this is a horse really that, if racing was fair, would be trained by Howard Johnson and going around in totally different colours than this. But it's trained by, it's now owned by Mrs. Audrey Turley and trained by Willie Mullins. Well, I think it's an excellent, a fascinating prospect. You know, both Briar Hill and Boston Bob were graded winners over both hurdles and fences, I think. So this horse has got plenty of time on his side. But hopefully, in the Cheltenham bumper, he'll do himself justice on the day. I'm looking forward to seeing how he runs, the old boy, I must admit. You know, I'll be imagining him going round in the black and beige as I watch him go round. And I'll be looking for a similar outcome to what Briar Hill manifested back in the day. Right, that's it now. And the stream, let's have a quick look at the stream statistics, which is the whole point of this stream. We've managed to broadcast for 45 minutes and 0.3% of the stream has dropped. So I think we can fairly call this stream an unreserved success. I will put it in the playlist, the National Hunt playlist, and I will also share it after the video has finished processing in an hour or two, so people that have been unfortunate enough to miss this live stream and miss these fantastic horses will be able to watch the stream over the next few coming days ahead of Cheltenham Festival. I run you through the record again of the horses that we're taking a look at. The maybes are not included in these figures. I will say that, which is a shame, because if anything, it will boost them a little bit. We'll run you through the statistics yet again. Horses identified last season in the National Hunt Sphere, 33 ones, 15 of one, just under 50% strike rate, 15 out of 33. And this year, 4 out of 7. So we were above 50% with horses identified this year, and just below 50% with probably 5 times more runs nearly than the ones identified this year. So the horses are what they are, boys and girls. And things are what they are. You know, this is a channel people need to keep an eye on. Right, but for now, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you very much, everybody who has chosen to support the live stream. Thank you very much for doing so. It is very much appreciated. But for now, I'm going to end the stream. Take care, everybody. A fascinating week ahead. It's arguably been total chaos all through the season. They've stolen the money on the anti-post champion hurdle favourite. They've stolen the money on the anti-post Arkle favourite. What a week in prospect. And what outcomes will be manifested over the next 5 days? One thing is for certain. I am totally 100% confident in all of my processes. I think the results of a near 50% strike rate in horses identified last year and an over 50% strike rate of horses identified this year speak for themselves. And I'm looking forward to this week. It's a crucial week. And hopefully every horse that turns up at the Cheltenham Festival will return safe and sound. But for now, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you very much, everybody, and take care. Goodbye.